Yes, so if you read the title, you may be thinking, what? Tommy and Sopa are moving? Like, no way. And I'm not going to give you the answer right away. Keep watching or keep listening to this podcast, and we're going to walk you through our thought process with moving and what we've been doing. What's up, everyone? Welcome to It's a Win-Win Wednesday, where we upload an episode every week. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. It's so good to have you. My name is Tommy Nguyen.
And I'm Sopa Nguyen.
That's right, Sopa Nguyen. So we moved out here to Silicon Valley right after we graduated from college. And prior to moving out here, we didn't have any family out here. We didn't know anyone. Fast forward to today, we've started a business together and we found a community that we love.
Yeah, and before we moved to San Jose, Silicon Valley, we had an amazing community there. We had our family, our friends, and I felt like had a really great life there. And then we basically left all of that community to move to a place where we knew nobody. And so that's kind of why we created It's a Win-Win podcast, because right now people are feeling a little isolated, missing their community, lacking community. And so we thought, why not be that community for people online? And we want to engage with you guys and get to know you and share our stories and our lives with you so you can feel connected. So let us know, how are you guys doing? Let us know in the comment section below if you're watching on YouTube. How are you doing? Did you have a good day? Did you have a bad day? I think part of getting connected to people is sharing your life. And it could be as simple as sharing how your day went, the good and the bad, or something that, what was the one thing that you felt like was a good thing today? So comment below. And if you're watching on or listening on Apple Podcasts, let us know on Instagram. Just DM me or Tommy. We'd love to just check in on you guys.
Yeah, and like Sophie said, or my bad, Sopa said, comment down below and let us know how you're feeling, because it's the same way like we're sharing how we're feeling through our podcast, through this channel, and we want to get to know you just as much as if you want to get to know us. So we want it to go both ways, because getting connected and developing a relationship with people, it's a two-way street. So we want to know about you just as much as you want to know about us.
Yeah. And we were looking at the back end of like our YouTube, because, YouTube gives analytics just like any other platform or network does. And we learned that 52% of our viewers have not subscribed to our channel.
52% of the people watching right now, you guys watching, are not subscribed. So make sure to hit that red subscribe button if you want to continue watching our videos. And also, for everyone that subscribes, it's super encouraging to us.
It is. Every time we're like, whoa, we have 76 subscribers.
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
76
crazy.
people who subscribe to our channel, who want to watch the content that comes out.
Yeah.
Definitely helps motivate us, crank out the content. And like, again, we always ask like what type of content you guys want to see, because we want to provide, value to you guys in the form of entertainment and whatever it is that you guys get value of when you guys listen to our podcast or watch our podcast. It's really encouraging.
It is.
It keeps us going.
And so before we get started, I think this is like a new thing we're going to do, is just like talk about what we're drinking, because it's fun. Yeah. And so I have sparkling water, no big surprise here. But this Good and Gather brand, you guys, from Target is so legit. It's cheaper than LaCroix, if you guys call it LaCroix. That's how I pronounce it.
I would say it's pronounced LaCroix. I'm almost 100% sure, like 99.9% sure. If you go to the LaCroix website, it says it rhymes with enjoy. So it's LaCroix.
Okay, I didn't know that. But I have the flavor cranberry citrus, and those are the two things I don't like in LaCroix. I don't like anything cranberry. I don't like anything really citrusy. So this drink took me by surprise. Shout out to my friend Angela, who gave me the recommendation for Good and Gather. You guys have to try it.
Yeah, and I am drinking an El Salvadorian coffee beans from El Salvador, from our good friends, Joe and Elena. So thank you for bringing the El Salvadorian coffee. I forget the name.
Oh, I don't think
but
it's
this is legit El Salvadorian coffee, and I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, so very, very really thoughtful gift.
Yes.
So you guys might have read the title, and I'll let Tommy go ahead and introduce what we are talking about in today's podcast.
Yes. So if you read the title, you may be thinking, what? Tommy and Sopa are moving? Like, no way. And I'm not going to give you the answer right away. Keep watching or keep listening to this podcast, and we're going to walk you through our thought process with moving and what we've been doing. So we definitely have been talking about moving. We definitely have been thinking about moving for a while now.
Yeah.
And we've definitely spent some time on Zillow.
It is my new hobby. When people ask me what my hobby is, I think it is legit going through Zillow.
I think they call it quarantine hobbies.
Yeah, for real. So the reason why we've been talking about moving so much is because everyone, it seems, is moving out of the Bay Area. Everyone is a huge statement, but a lot of people that we know are leaving the Bay Area. And I get it. We are super isolated. Our county is very strict. Like we talked about on the podcast, it's just not the same here like everywhere else, you know? And so people are missing their family. People are working less, making less money. It's expensive to live here. There's so many reasons that I totally get why people are moving out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, the big questions that we have in our minds is like, man, where should we move and when should we move? So even talk about where we could be moving.
Yeah, so there are some places that we had in mind. Well, I had in mind. I was going through Zillow, like I said. And so we were thinking, like, what does SoCal look like? What does Arizona look like? Because when we went on our road trip, we went through Phoenix. And I was like, Phoenix is pretty cool. I mean, it looked really modern. Yeah, I personally like things that are new, modern. I don't like super old town type vibe. I mean, that's just...
And Phoenix fit that. It was really nice as we drove through it. And like Sopa said, driving to Texas over the holidays to go see family, we went through all those states. So we got to check out each city that we stopped in and just, just to see, get a feel for it, right?
Yeah, so Arizona, definitely thinking about Texas. We even started going on Zillow and like going to Indiana where our family lives and just seeing what's on the market and what rent prices look like.
We definitely considered it.
Yeah, and so those are really, and I had this idea of Tulsa, Oklahoma, but Tommy immediately was like, I really don't want to move there. But I'm like, all these YouTubers are moving there and they'll like pay you like $3,000 or a month or something. I forgot what it was. There's some account on Instagram that is legit that will pay you to move to Tulsa and work remote because they want to share what Tulsa has to offer.
Yeah. And so, I mean, those are just a few places that we've been looking at to move. And do you want to let our people know like why we would want to move?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest part, like the same reason a lot of our friends are moving is because our family. We miss our family, and Tommy's parents are soon, not soon, but thinking about retiring. My parents don't work anymore, and so my mom can, be anywhere. And I'm like, I want to go and move to a place that isn't so expensive. The reality is, I mean, it's going to be a sticker shock to people who live in the Midwest to move to the Bay Area, and I just don't really want to put them through that if they were to move, here. So family is a huge part. Cost of living is a huge part. And I think that's really all the reasons why we thought about moving, because really we do love it here in California.
Yeah, we do. So we haven't answered your question yet. Where are we moving to?
Yeah.
So during this process, during our thought process, really we've thought it through. Like I said earlier, we thought about it, we talked about it a lot, and we've been on Zillow
about it
like all the time, just looking at other places in different cities, further out like SoCal or even out of state. And what we realized is that what we've been looking for has been here. We feel like the grass is going to be greener on the other side, and in reality, that's not always true.
Yeah, I like Tommy saying, basically, what we're looking for is where we are. And I know our family is far away, but the reality is if I were to move, closer to our family, it's like, are we really going to be able to spend all that time? Like, I feel like I'm thinking about how it was, when we were younger and when we were at home and at Purdue and things. And I'm like, a lot of things has changed. Like my nieces all live in different places. Tommy's cousins are going to school. Tommy's sister's in school. Tommy's parents obviously are working, but things are different now.
Yeah. And in the beginning, almost on all of our podcasts, we talk about how when we first moved here, we didn't have any family. We didn't have any community. So fast forward to today, we have found community that we love. And it's community where we consider them family. They don't have to be blood-related family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's not always greener on the other side, right? Yeah. And we have community here that we've invested like 5 years, or I don't know, 5 years,
Yeah, 5 years.
4 years.
We've been here for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years of our life we've dedicated to getting to know these people, loving them, taking care of them. They take care of us. And we've just been through so much of our life with them that I'm like, man, I don't even want to start over with that, like at
Yeah.
all. And family will always be there for us. And so
Yeah.
always reminding ourselves that we have a great life here.
Yeah, and what we've learned is that we have established roots here. Like we came here with nothing,
Yeah.
like knowing anybody, like zero.
Yeah.
And now we have all these people that we can go to, this community that we can go and talk to and hang out with and go through life with. And it's been amazing and we feel super grateful and blessed.
And I think the hard part of that, which is why we thought about moving, is because so many of those people that we're talking about are moving away. I mean, there's some people in this friend category that we have that I know will never leave because they feel like this is their home. But then we have people who I would say we are so close to, like the day that they move, because they're already planning the move, I'm going to just bawl my eyes out. Like I've already bawled when one of my friend Rick moved, and they're like, my friends keep getting text. It's like this week I had a text that my friend sold her house. And then this week we also like said goodbye to our friends who are moving all the way back to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to want to stay here when I know my community is leaving me. And that sounds kind of dramatic, like my community is leaving me, but that's really how it feels, which is why we've been thinking about moving.
Almost in a way, it's like FOMO, right? Like, do you almost feel like a sense of FOMO?
No, I'm like, what's the point of living here? I have to stay home because everything's closed, right? And I can't hang out with my friends. I'm like, why not go live with my family in a state that's not as expensive and have way more room? I could actually have a house. You know what I mean? So I just think about like the grass is greener on the other side. I keep thinking that. But what we're realizing is just to water the grass that we have here in San Jose.
The grass that we're standing on.
Exactly.
On this side.
Water the grass that we've been watering for 5 years. Our new life, our business is here. Our church is here. Our friends are here. Instead of thinking about watering grass in another state with our family. Because the reality is, I think it will happen at some point. We're not going to stay here forever.
Yeah, I think as of right now, what we came to realize that we're called to be here. We're called to live here right now. And there we have purpose here. And, for us being here right now, it's has just been amazing. And why would we want, like Sophie has mentioned, why would we want to leave something we've invested so much time into in the relationships that we've built?
And I feel like we are called to be here. And when I say called, I feel like I'm called to be in Silicon Valley because I feel like I'm making a difference in people's lives. I think we both are making a difference in people's lives, in our business and at Eden. And I just feel like we've just hit the surface and like the small of life change that we've had. That's like just the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, this is only 5 years in. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see like 10 years from now, where we'll be at. And I said we're called to be here in this season of our lives right now.
Yeah,
we don't know what
change.
that'll look like next year, even, 2 years from now, 6 months from now.
Yeah. And Tommy and I, when we started Soul Gold, our business, we always said great things don't come from comfort zones. And I don't know if that's cliche. I don't really care if it is, because I just think it's something that we live by. And something that him and I do in our life is we never live in our comfort zone, like ever. Even in our business, if anything seems to feel like it's the same thing going on, it's like we need change. We need a new product. We need a new service. We need to make things better, because when things, what is it called? Being complacent.
Yeah, becoming stagnant.
It's like you don't grow when you're stagnant. And I think living in this area with no family, like biological family to depend on, and like having to hustle for your money and like to your livelihood, it doesn't mean we only hustle. That's not what I'm saying, but you have to work hard to survive out here. Like that's just the reality. It doesn't come easy at all. And we work really hard to have the things that we have and to live the life that we do. And so part of living here is uncomfortable. And I think that's just kind of what we just need to lean more into instead of running away from it.
Yeah, definitely. And, we're counting our blessings.
Yeah.
We're looking at what we have here and not what we don't have. And
yeah, I struggled with that a lot, you guys. So if you are feeling that way, I feel you.
Yeah. And for our friends who are moving, we're so happy for you guys. We understand like why you guys are moving, even though it's sad for us. Like
Yeah.
we want you guys to do what's best for you, and it's totally fine if you want to move. Like Sopal mentioned earlier, like we're not trying to keep you guys here as much as we would want to,
Selfishly.
but we understand.
I mean, we moved away from the Midwest. That was extremely
Yeah,
difficult.
we left our families to come out here, and everyone has their reasons, and this is just our experience right now, what we're going through, our thought process with it all. And there's a book that you're reading. I don't know if you want to plug that in at all, but I think it's been a game changer for you, for
Oh my
sure.
gosh, you guys, this book has changed the game for me, because let me tell you, I was this close to like just being over it, not wanting to live here. I mean, like legit telling Tommy like I'm done here.
Yeah, it was like every day, like we
Every
need to
day
get
I was
out.
like, I need to move. I need to move.
Yeah.
I don't like it here. I don't like it here, because I wasn't really focusing on my blessings. I really miss my family, you guys. And it's still true as I'm recording this. But what has made it easier is this book by Shauna Pilgreen called Love Where You Live. I should pull it. It's like right there. Or we can just pop up a little screenshot.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Called Love Where You Live by Shauna Pilgreen. It is amazing. So I'm 75% of the way done with it on my audiobook. It tells me like 75%. And I also bought the physical book because honestly, I want to read it again in case I missed anything. But she talks about how she's called to live in San Francisco, and she's from the Midwest. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? It's exactly
Yeah.
my life. I mean, not exactly, but very similar to my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that book has helped me so much. And really, I'm just slowly looking at this in a more positive way versus such a negative way. Because let me tell you, you guys, it has not been easy for me. And I figured let's do a podcast because I know some of you guys have to be going through this. Like, why? Like, I've heard so many people, let's move to Hawaii for like whatever, or do all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, why am I staying here? It's not always that great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are some days that are really hard.
I would say it's up and downs. I mean, that's how we feel about moving. It's up and down every single day. One week we're like, man, we love it here. Next week we're like, we need to get out.
Yeah. And so if you guys are moving away, please know and understand that we think that's awesome. It's good for you. We're not saying any of this about anyone else's life other than our life and our perspective. And if you need to move to be closer to your family, honestly, I'm a little jealous, and more power to you that you can do that. I can't do it yet.
Yep.
As much as I miss them, I just know we're called here, water the grass that we have, and continue to just push through.
Yeah. So to answer the lingering question, I mean, I'm sure you already know the answer, but we are not moving.
Not yet, at least. And when we do move, we will let you guys know, and we will take you guys along that journey and process on how we're processing all of that. So yeah, we hope you guys really enjoyed this podcast, and let you guys know that it does mean so much that you guys listen, and you are not alone if you are feeling these weird emotions going up and down like I am.
Yeah.
Wanting to move, wanting to get out, like dying for a change of scenery, but like just love where you live while you can, and look at the blessings in your surroundings, because you're probably missing something.
Oh yeah, it's right in front of you. The blessings are everywhere. We just got to be aware to be able to see those blessings.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you made it this far, whether you're watching on YouTube, while you're cleaning or while you're working, or if you're listening on the Apple Podcast, maybe listening on your way to work or during your lunch break or while you're working as well. I used to listen to a bunch of podcasts while I was working. So thank you so much for making it this far. And if you haven't already, like we said earlier, 52% of you who are watching right now are not subscribed. So please make sure to subscribe. We're taking you through our lives, our experiences, how we're feeling on a week-to-week basis, and sharing our lives with you, and in the hope of connecting with you in some way, having you feel connected during this time, during the pandemic. And it's a win for us if you feel that way right now as you're listening or watching, that you feel connected. And, it's a win-win, right? So this is a whole podcast. It's a win for us, but it's also a win for you. And we would love to hear your stories, to hear maybe your thought process. Have you thought about moving? If so, where are you thinking about moving, and maybe why? And
give us some ideas for the future.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And, I think it's kind of an exciting time right now to be able to connect, through this digitally. I think with 2020 happening, we would have never have gotten this podcast off the ground.
No, we wouldn't have started it.
Yeah.
So we're thankful again. that we have this podcast and that we can connect with you guys. So that's all we have for you today. And we just want to let you guys know that we love you and we appreciate you. We can't wait to talk to you guys next Wednesday on It's a Win-Win podcast.
My name is Tommy Nguyen.
And I'm Sopa, or you can call me Sophie Nguyen.
See you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.